Hi guys, this is a short video trying to explain a problem I came across with Lightwave instance weighting. Let me talk you through the scene and then I'll explain what the problem is and how I eventually resolved it. Look at our scene editor, you can see that I've got 7 coloured balls, all instanced around a tessellated ball. Very simple, it's very straightforward. I've also got weighting envelopes so that as you drag the timeline, the coloured balls disappear to be replaced by blue balls. Again, fairly simple. Pull up the properties for the tessellated ball and double click our instance generator. You can see the 7 balls used locally and shaded solid, and the weight envelopes for each ball. You can see that the envelope references the green, so I clicked on green, so I've got green, and it goes from 14.2857% to 0. That 14.2857 is actually the 100% divided by the 7 balls. So no problem there. So you can see here as well, we have our source ball, the tessellated ball, with an instance generator on it, and all 7 balls underneath the instance generator. So if I double click that, you can see all the weights. So I've got all the colours apart from blue going from the initial 14% down to 0, and the blue ball going from the initial 14% up to 100. So as you drag the timeline, the coloured balls disappear and the blue balls appear. All working fine. Save. Now this is where it goes wrong. I'm just going to load the scene that I just saved, version 2, open. You drag the timeline and it doesn't do anything. The instancing engine on save has lost settings for these. So let's look at the green envelope, and you can see that it's actually referencing the wrong object. And you look at the instance generator, it's only got itself underneath it, which is very odd. So how did you get around that? I'd been working for days on a project and saved it one day, came in the next day, loaded it up, and this had happened. And it took me a day or so stripping stuff out of the scene. I basically got back to this level and still had the problem, so this is how I got around it. We have our instance generator. If I copy the settings and paste them, and we've now got 2, but you open up the second one and select any of those with the envelope, and you can see that we have green again, and the second instance is actually picked up all 7 balls again, even though it was a copy of this instance generator and pasted. It's picked up the balls that I originally saved. It hasn't done a brilliant job because all the envelopes, if I double click there, all the envelopes have been set to do the same thing. So we'll go into 1 to 6 and set the end to 0. Oops, don't want to save, I want all. So our envelopes have been corrected and we can get rid of the initial instance generator. And let's zoom back in there. And now when you drag the timeline, it's fixed. Everything's as it was. So we'll save. if I load it again, it'll just go wrong again. So let's load 2 just to prove it. Again, no. So we go back in here. No, we don't. We go copy, paste, remove the first one, open that, select that, go into the envelope generator, double click that, select the first 6 and put those to 0. So it's working again. Okay. So that got me thinking, why a copy and paste should paste different settings. That was the main confusion. So then I thought, well, if a copy and paste can fix part of the problem, but not all of it, what if I now have a working version. If I clone the original source ball, so Control C, clone one of those, I'm just going to move it off to the side, and you can see that both are working. Okay, so now I'll save that as a Shift S version 3. Now if I load version 3, you can see that the cloned one still works, but the original's gone back to the problem. So I've managed to fix it, so all you've got to do is delete the source object there, replace it with the cloned one, and you can get around this problem. If you've got any comments, or if you want to see the scene files, leave a comment below, and I hope this helps anyone who's had the same problems I've had. Thanks very much. Cheers.